So keep that in mind. Good. Carbon monoxide is the best answer. So what does mono mean?
It means one. Or singular.
Yeah. So you could also call this monocarbon monoxide. Okay, that's also true, technically. We don't usually, but it's also true. All right. How about the next one? What's CO2?
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah, so of course, when we say, I can't write as fast, you guys talk. Okay. Yeah. When we say dioxide, we mean two oxygens, right? So the prefix changes how many of whatever follows are in the compound, right? Oh, by the way, what is that called, this two? What do we call that? What's the vocab word?
Subscript.
Good. So a subscript indicates how many of that atom are actually attached to the compound, right? CO2 is what we breathe out, and of course, CO is poison. So I just want to show you, like, real quick. I think you guys can still see me, right? Maybe, I don't know. So this is CO2, right? You can see my camera? Maybe. So CO2 has a carbon in the center and two oxygens that are attached to it. The chemical formula, this right here, CO2, does not tell us how they're arranged. You need structural information to do that. But the subscript is used to kind of write it easier so it doesn't look as sloppy. Like if I wrote COO, that'd be weird. All right, so applying that idea, we name the first thing and the second thing, and then it changes to IDE. And if you have more than one, you got to say so. What do you want to call PCl3?
Phosphorus trichloride.
Good. Yeah, Casey, you got it. But, and you spelled phosphorus correctly. A lot of people mess up the US. They put OUS. I do that a lot, but it's wrong. The only thing I would change is to make the letters lowercase, because again, chemicals are not people. They're just awesome, but they're not like individuals. So yeah, phosphorus trichloride. So tri, of course, means 3. What's the next one? Yeah, Matthew got it. Dihydrogen monoxide. That's the chemical name. So if when I was in Gen Chem, my mother is an accountant and has never understood my need to study science. Although she's known since I was very young I was going to be a scientist. And so when I was in Gen Chem, we were talking about safety data sheets and how they convey all the hazards of any kind of like material you would use in the lab. So one day, our professor brought in these safety sheets that it said things like 100% of people who come in contact with dihydrogen monoxide die. Inhalation is instantly, what does it say? Causes instant death. Whole bunch of stuff like that. And of course, it's all true, technically. Every person every living creature comes in contact with water, so you're gonna die eventually. Whether or not it's not like water caused that. And then of course, inhalation of water is drowning. So yes, that's fatal. So if you want to play a fun prank on your parents, you can Google dihydrogen monoxide MSDS and it'll come up with all kinds of hazards that really aren't abnormal. All right, the next one's a little bit different. How do you want to handle that one? Take it a step at a time. So what do we call the first thing? Oh, someone typed it. No, Matt, you guys are fast. Kaylee got it. So diphosphorus. Again, it's not OUS, it's just US. Us at the end. And again, we're not going to capitalize. It's all lowercase. All right, so diphosphorus pentoxide. So what does penta mean?
It's the prefix for 5.
It is. So if you're a rules kind of person, these are the technical rules. I'm not going to read them to you. They're in the notes. But you just applied them. The quick summary is basically there's an order to how we put the words together. It's based on the periodic table. And you always change the ending to IDE. So instead of oxygen, we were saying oxide. Okay. All right. So we already said the prefix for one atom is what?
Mono.
Yeah, like carbon monoxide. What's the prefix for two atoms?
Di.
3.
Try.
You should always try in chemistry. Get it? 4. Ooh, it's not hepta, but hepta is going to come up. Anyone know what hepta goes to? Is a weird one.
7.
7. I don't know why it's not Hector. My captions are not able to interpret hepta. Oh, I did it that time. It is 7. 4 is odd also. We don't use this word a whole lot. Anyone have a guess? It's not an odd number. It's a strange word is what I meant. It's tetra. So if you want to impress your math teachers, tell them a square is a tetragon, because it is. So is rectangle, right? 4 sides. How about 5?
Penta.
Yeah. Oh, a note about 4. Sometimes people say quad. Quad is not Greek. It's Latin. So it's not applicable to naming covalent things. Okay, we use the Greek prefixes. Penta. Okay, 6.
Septo.
That's actually Latin for 7.
Is it?
What do you call a 6-sided shape?
A hexagon?
Yeah, you got it. So hexa. How about 8?
Octa.
6-gon.
I'm a sixagon.
That's funny. 9 is weird. We don't really see 9-sided figures that often, but they do exist. Anyone know what it is?
Nana.
Oh, good. Yes. Sounds like someone's grandma. I think so. 10. Used in the metric system as well. Yeah, William got it. So deca. There are more, all right? So of course, Greeks were not limited to numbers 1 through 10, but all we need for this course are these prefixes. So if you didn't know these already, I recommend making a flashcard for each one. So 1 on one side and mono on the other. Practice going both directions because you need to, when you're naming things, you need to know what the prefix is. And when I give you a name to go back to a formula, you have to know the other way. So practice both sides of the card. All right, let's see if we can apply this. Everybody take a second and come up with an answer to which it's multiple choice. So A, B, C, D for number 1. I'm seeing a few C's in the chat. And that would be correct. So just to illustrate what the names would be if you're going the other way, what would the formula for nitrogen trioxide look like?
NO3.
Yeah. How about dinitrogen dioxide?
N2O2.
That's actually a feasible chemical. NO3 is not. N2O2 is real. All right. And of course, this is our winner. So. And what would the last one be?
No.
Okay. Take a stab at number 2. Good, good, good. We're starting to get it. Yep. So it is B. So like I said, you're going to go both ways, from formula to name and from name to formula. So that's why you want to practice both sides of your flashcards. NO, of course, would be nitrogen oxide or nitrogen monoxide, or any combination of those two. B is correct there. Tri-nitrogen oxide or tri-nitrogen monoxide. So we don't always include the mono, is the point. You can. You're not wrong to do so, but sometimes we're lazy. When it matters, we do. So like CO and CO2 are so markedly different that we do usually say monoxide for that. And then N2O5 would be what? The caption said N5, which is weird. N2O5. Nope. Yeah, you got it. So dinitrogen, because there's two of them, and pentoxide. You'll also notice these are two separate words. Whoops. There we are. Okay, so good. We're pretty good at naming covalent compounds.